Hi guys, it's Shane. This one's sort of being thrown together really short notice. I've just seen the rumours that apparently Mercedes are set to announce George Russell as Lewis Hamilton's teammate at Mercedes for at the British Grand Prix. Now, at this point, this is just a rumour. This is the press. This could realistically be absolutely nothing. However, I do think this throws an opportunity for Bottas to come out and take this into his own hands. I think if the way that Bottas has been treated this year by Mercedes is little short of disgusting. Like, no one is convinced by Totos' apology. It's like, I shouldn't have blamed Bottas. Yeah, no shit, buddy. Right? You fucked up. You've dropped the ball there. I think this is now on Bottas. I think this weekend in France, Bottas has to come out and say, right, I'm leaving Mercedes. I'm done here. This will force Mercedes to announce Russell a bit earlier than planned, but it also puts them in a position where where Bottas no longer has any real incentive to actually listen to Mercedes when they give him a team order to let Lewis Hamilton pass, because it's not written into his contract. Right? Mercedes will get bitten for the way they've treated Valtteri Bottas if he decides to walk, and then does decide to look out for number one in this case, which is him, because he is looking to further his career. He won't give a damn about Hamilton's Drivers' Championship or Mercedes Constructors' Championship at the end of this season, because, yeah, sure, he'll probably get a bonus for helping them win the Constructors' Championship, but he's leaving. He doesn't care. He's made plenty of money out of them. Right now, it is about him putting himself in the shop window for all of the other teams out there. And sadly, with the way that the contract circle has worked, it's really the most likely thing he'll be doing is going back to Williams and leading them as they try to rebuild, which I don't necessarily think, is a bad thing. Unless Alonso decides to walk, in which case Ocon and Bottas at Alpine could be very entertaining. I think, and I'm going to get some hate for this, I think Bottas would be a better shout to go next to Esteban Ocon than Pierre Gasly, considering the previous animosity between Gasly and Ocon and the fact that they're both quite fiery people. Bottas is far more relaxed and will be less likely to set off Ocon. That's why Ocon and Perez didn't really work. So I think Bottas, if Alonso leaves, has the opportunity at Alpine, but I do think he needs to take this into his own hands. He needs to make that first step and announce he's leaving Mercedes and walk away and make that announcement before Mercedes do. Because as far as Mercedes are concerned, they can just dither over this for as long as possible and Bottas will eventually sign. So he needs to just like, right, I'm out. All right, do what you want. I am racing for me now. As well as that, which is the really recent news that I wanted to talk about, the yellow flags incidents in Baku have been a joke. The head steward and the race director says, oh, but if everyone's speeding, we can't punish everyone. No, yes, you can, right? Also, disparity here. Mick Schumacher damn near stalked. Yuki Tsunoda barely lifted while there was a car sideways across a 200-mile-an-hour straight on the double waved yellows. This needs to be clamped down on, right? And you need to implement a set of rules where there is no interpretation from competitive drivers in the heat of combat. It has to be black or white. I suggested in the comments video on the Races channel, in the comment section of the Races video on this subject, that we have speed limits across each marshalling sector. And then, so under wave yellows, you have to go at 75% of the delta time, and under double wave yellows, 50%. This makes it black or white. You either went too fast or didn't, and then you just slam them with a penalty. That way it's simple, and it removes any form of interpretation. A rule book shouldn't be interpretation. It should be legal, illegal, the end. When it comes to sporting conduct, like when it comes to like aerodynamic regulations, that's, I guess, slightly different. Some people seem to think it's to encourage creativity, but when it comes to the conduct of the drivers on track, this is legal, this is not. It should be, especially where safety is concerned. Like Verstappen's car was sideways across the track. That would have been a plane crash if Tsunoda had fucked up. Like, that would have been horrific. And it's the radio transcripts from McLaren to the race steward were just, it's alarming how it was handled. And then when we gloss over the fact that it took them nearly a lap to deploy the damn safety car while there was a car sideways across a 200-mile-an-hour straight. Obviously, there was a lot of pressure on the race director. He is going to have to live up to Charlie Whiting, who is a legend of Formula One. But maybe they just need more team, and they need to stop being so indecisive. It's like the protocol should be, in that situation, at the very least, you're looking at a virtual safety car immediately. Like, that car had no chance of being recovered without a recovery truck. It was sideways across the main straight. Like, you could very quickly see this was never going to happen because the field was sort of spread out at the time as well. So there was never a gap. Like, you have to safety car that. But yeah, so that's the mess from Baku. My reaction to the news that Bottas, like Russell, has allegedly already signed a deal with Mercedes. Again, it's only allegedly, it's just a news story, and they're supposed to be announcing it at the British Grand Prix. We will see about that. I think Bottas should just come out of France and go, yeah, I'm out. Like, see you in a bit. And then spend the rest of the season ignoring any team order he gets to let Hamilton past. As for the rest of the driver market, obviously it's going to be pretty standard. The only big changes I can see are if Alonso decides he's had enough, but I can't see that. So I think it's going to be Alonso Ocon at Alpine again next season, and then Alonso will decide he's had enough after that. That leaves Bottas back at Williams, probably alongside Nicholas Latifi, which is going to be great for all of the people that enjoy hating, for all of the George Russell fans that just want to bash Bottas and Latifi, because they're just going to endlessly rib the Williams team, because you're incapable of acknowledging that there is other drivers who have talents out there. Like, Latifi's clearly not that bad, like the way you're painting him. If Russell is as good as you are claiming, Latifi's got to be pretty good, because he's never been leagues behind him. Like, he's caught up to him. And Bottas is clearly got some talent, because he's regularly about as close to Hamilton as Red Bull want their number 2 to be to Max. So I don't know if Perez is going to stay at Red Bull. Probably at this point, to keep the hipsters happy. He will be like staying at Red Bull because he's now won a race. And in the eyes of every Formula One fan, because they have 90-second memories, that, oh, Perez is caught up. Yeah, in Monaco, he was slower than Bottas in the Mercedes despite having the faster car. Like, perspective, genius. We're not going to know until about mid-season where we're at, like a significant chunk further in. Like, the mid-session break's going to give us a really good idea. I'm going to make sort of a U-turn on one of my predictions. I'm going to go for Max to win the title and Red Bull to win the Constructors this season. I think Red Bull are stronger than Mercedes. I think Red Bull are going to... Red Bull would be 50 points clear if Hamilton had actually been punished for his mistakes. Like, Max would have a 50-point lead in the championship. This is crucial. Hamilton's made 2 big on-track mistakes and not been punished for either. So I think over the course of the season, even with Max will inevitably make a mistake or 2 down the line and probably get punished for it, because Lewis has been a very lucky boy this year. I still think Max and Red Bull have the pace to beat Lewis. It's as simple as that. And another reason I think that is because now with the news that Bottas is possibly going to leave, he isn't going to give a fuck. Like, he's not going to help Hamilton win the world title now, is he? Like, I wouldn't. Would you? Would you really sit there and it's like, oh, I'm going to keep being the loyal team player? No, you're out for number 1. You're trying to win races. And if that means compromising your teammate, whoops, right? Like, this is it. Like, Hamilton might put a campaign and like try and push to keep Bottas, but I think that's unlikely to happen at this point. I think the relationship, even though we haven't seen it in public, I think the relationship between Toto Wolff and Valtteri Bottas has been immensely damaged post-Monaco. And I think that's entirely on Toto. Like, that was some pretty shit man management overall. But that's just my thoughts on, obviously, the Bottas thing, the yellow flags thing, and what's going to happen in the championship. Until next time, I have been Shane Nye. Thank you for watching.